All right, what's going on, guys? It's Coach D again. We're back again with another one. So listen, I wanted to do one more video. We're one day away from Canelo Alvarez versus Dimitri Bivol. One day away from one of the biggest fights that's gonna happen this year. And I wanted to talk about in this video the keys for Canelo Alvarez to beat Dimitri Bivol. It's something that we saw with the Oscar Valdez fight and the Shakur Stevenson fight was that Oscar Valdez before the fight he was just talking about how he has to test Shakur Stevenson, test that fight in him, really go to the body, make it a fight, really test that warrior in him. And he wasn't able to do that because Shakur was boxing him on the outside. So he wasn't able to get inside to really test Shakur. And he wasn't, when he was coming in, he was just getting hit with that jab, hit with that jab, hit with that jab. He wasn't able to get inside. And something that, Canelo is going to have to do, right, is he's going to have to figure out the same thing. Because to me personally, I think Shakur Stevenson, if we went pound for pound, is a better fighter than Dimitri Bivol. But when it comes to that jab, when it comes to that, you know, jab and movement, right? That boxing, that keep away type of game-ish type of stuff, that's Dimitri Bivol's bread and butter. That's all he is. He really isn't too much of anything else. So he does that at an even higher level than, let's say, Shakur Stevenson. Everybody that fights Bivol wants to do the exact same thing to Bivol. They want to get inside, they want to hit him, they want to test him, but Bivol doesn't allow people to do that all night. He's moving back, giving you that jab, and then when you miss, he counters you, and then he's right back on defense. Right back, taking that half step away to get out of range. Like that's all he does all night. And so the goal for Canelo is going to be how do you figure out closing that range, closing that distance from Bivol. Because if Bivol didn't have the jab and he was just a runner, right, then you could close the distance pretty easily. You just got to keep coming, and let Bivol tire himself out. And eventually, over the course of the fight, he's taking some shots. He's going to slow down. But Bivol, let's say Bivol just had the jab, but he didn't have movement. Well, then Canelo could just slip it, do the Danny Jacobs dance, right? And then go inside and then start hitting them there. But Bivol does both of those at a very elite high level. So when Canelo's coming in, when these guys are coming in, they have to deal with the jab and deal with his footwork movement, moving away while he's giving the jab, moving in and out of range. He's not running from you to where you can just keep moving forward. He will counter you, right? And then move forward and then move back when he thinks that you're going to hit him back. So he plays that game with you all night. Meanwhile, you're just trying to get in so you can hit him, and it's so hard to hit him because of that movement, because of that long jab, and he uses it so effectively. So that's going to be the goal for Canelo. All of the prediction videos that I've been watching, that I've been seeing, everybody keeps on saying, Canelo just has to go to the body, right? How can Bivol, how's he going to take those body shots from Canelo? People are saying that, Bivol won't be able to take the body shots. You have to be able to get close enough to hit Bivol to the body. And I'm not saying get close enough to hit Bivol to the body 2, 3, 4 times a fight. Like, to make a body shot effective, you have to hit people multiple times. If Canelo hits Bivol to the body 4 times the entire fight, that's a loss. Like, he's more than likely going to lose that fight if he can't get inside and close the distance on Bivol. And like I said, it's Bivol's whole game to keep you at bay. And when he thinks that, you're like in range, then then he'll hit you, and then he'll move right back out of range for you to hit him back. And so that's going to be the major key. I don't want to hear Canelo and Eddie Reynoso and Eddie Reynoso is the same trainer for Oscar Valdez. You would have thought that if Eddie Reynoso knew how to close the distance against an elite mover and a boxer, you think you would have told Oscar Valdez, but you didn't see Oscar Valdez doing anything. You didn't see Oscar Valdez coming behind a jab. You didn't see him. He was just running in there, getting tagged with a jab all night long. You know what I'm saying? And then Shakur, being as talented as he is, he's just hitting you, probing you, keeping you off from hitting you, Oscar was never able to get anything going. And I don't, we'll see. Canelo is obviously a much more elite fighter than Oscar Valdez, but Canelo at the same time, he's gonna have to figure out how to do that. He's gonna have to figure out how to crack that movement and distance code from Bivol. And drop your comments, drop your predictions and stuff in the comments. Drop how you think Canelo's gonna be able to close the distance on Bivol with his movement and his jab. That's what I'm curious to see. To me, I was on a call. Shout out to BDA Boxing Channel. I was on a go ahead subscribe to him, best boxing channel um out there. Uh, Go ahead and well, I won't say the best boxing channel out there, but one of the best boxing channels out there. Anyway, um, I did a call in for him, and when we were talking, I had said or one of the callers had said that you know Canelo needs to implement like a sort of like a Manny Pacquiao type of style footwork, right? To where Bivol, when he's moving back, you just gotta rush him. Like you have to have quick feet and just kind of like rush and close that distance in. You know what I'm saying? When you slip that jab, when you slip his jab and he does that little jump back because you slipped it, you just gotta like blitz in there, quick feet, boom, 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 and you just gotta stay on him. We kind of saw that a few times in the Pascal fight. You just gotta stay in there, jump on him. You gotta be giving Bivol no room to breathe. You gotta take those jabs. But then when he's backing up on you, right? You gotta be able to slip, and you gotta be able to boom, 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 and then get off. And you're gonna take some shots for that because when you're getting off against B-Ball and he's pulling back, he's gonna hit you too. But you're gonna have to continue to, and that's gonna have to be the type of fight it is. And then hopefully, you're gonna have enough success, and with the shots that you land, then B-Ball will slow down. That's one way that he can do it, sort of like the Manny Pacquiao quick feet type of way. But from what I've seen from Canelo Alvarez, I don't know if he's gonna implement that. Like I don't know if he's never had the best footwork in the game. He's never been a dancer with his feet type of thing. Um, so I don't see him, being you know that flight footed to really chase Bivol. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. But I don't know. I just don't. I just it's gonna be hard for me to see that. Um, the second way that I think you could defeat Dimitri Bivol that I have seen is Craig Richards really gave him the best run. And he said, like, the Solomon fight, Bivol said the Solomon fight and the Richards fight, he really wasn't at his best. But with the Richards fight, Richards basically said, okay, B-Ball, you're going to come. We know for sure that you're not a runner. You're not just going to run away. You're going to actually try to hit me. You're going to try to hit me tonight. So what I'm going to do is when you try to hit me, I'm going to try to hit you too. And granted, I'm probably going to get tagged more because of how accurate and how fast your jab is and how much you like to counter. But if I keep my volume up, when you come in here and I'm throwing first, you're getting tagged too. I'm hitting you back. And so that's what Richards was able to do. He started being able to trade with Bivol. Now, in the case of somebody like Canelo, being able to trade with Bivol is great. That's a great plan because you have one of the best shins. Canelo has one of the best shins in boxing, right? We haven't seen Bivol. I mean, he's taking some shots from like Joe Smith, Pascal. Like he has some A chin. He ain't. But at the same time, can he sustain Canelo shots is the question, right? Can he take Canelo shots? Can he take those body shots and over the course of 12 rounds? So if Canelo initiates in this type of, trade off type of thing with Bivol and makes it a fight in that way, I think if he can keep that type of getting fight up over the course of 12 rounds, somewhere in the later rounds, Bivol would end up compromising and Canelo would be able to end up getting a big shot on Bivol that might potentially end the fight. But you know, even that, because Bivol uses the jab so much, Richards used the jab. That's how he was able to hit Bivol and trade with Bivol because he was using the jab on Bivol. I mean, he started throwing that jab out there almost like nonstop. So when Bivol came in to throw his stuff, he's getting clipped too. Bivol's coming in with that 1-2, but hey, Richards got a shot in still. So I'm saying if Canelo can get that shot in, then that might be able to change things. But at the same time, though, how is Canelo gonna? First of all, he has a shorter reach than Richards, and somebody like Richards is not as tall as somebody like Richards. So is he gonna be able to utilize the jab to be able to initiate trades with Bivol, right? To be able to hit Bivol and occupy, his guard with a jab. Is he gonna be able to do that? I don't really see it because Canelo doesn't use a jab like that anymore. He's really just a pressure counter. Like he's not jabbing, 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 jabbing. Like he's not going to do this volume jab plan. So that's so those are the two ways that I've seen people have success. I want to know of more ways. What do people think? Um, but that's from what I've seen. I don't know with those two plans. I don't know if Canelo will pull off some type of Manny Pacquiao fast foot track, heat seeking missile, pop in, bang, 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 bang on Bivol. I don't know. Pascal had a little success with it, a little bit. He just pop out, boom, and then once he's out, he's in there, bang, 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 and then Bivol would just circle out. But if Canelo could do that over the course of a fight and land some big shots, then that would work, as a way to get in. Um, and as far as the Richards way, the jab way, I just don't see, I just don't see Canelo throwing out those jabs at a volume required for him to, close that distance and trade with Bivol. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. The thing that I'm very concerned about for Canelo Alvarez, he has to pick one of those two, or what I'm looking forward to May 7th, him showing me something else, something else. Because I have no doubt that Canelo can pull off the Danny Jacobs thing, ish. He won't be because Danny Jacobs he don't have the jab of B-roll. But Canelo with his head movement and stuff like that, he could try to do something similar, right? Maybe not have as much success as he did with Danny Jacobs, but he will have success, right? But the issue is the feet. So even if you dodging Bivol's jabs, when you try to pull counter on those jabs, Bivol, the reason he's called such a boring fighter, and the reason why, you know what I'm saying, people have this knock against Bivol, and he doesn't have all these knockouts because Bivol doesn't sit down on shots. Bivol's always looking to bounce back if he misses. Always. Even when he has people on the ropes, he's always thinking about the counter. He's never just fully committed in the offense. He's always thinking about, oh shoot, what if that person throws back? I gotta be out. I gotta be able to get out of here. So even if Canelo slips something, Bivol's immediately gonna jump back. And so then Canelo, you can't just throw something because you're gonna whiff. And if you whiff against B-ball and you throw something and miss and you're in a compromised position, he's giving you a three-piece spicy. Easy, fresh. So you really gotta be careful with that. And I'm really worried, Canelo, you can't do that. You have to move your feet too. You have to be able to slip it, move your feet quickly to close that gap and then get your shots off. That would be the way. But that requires very fast footwork, and he has to move, and track B-ball down. And from what we've seen from Canelo these past like 4 fights, um, and especially the Caleb Plant fight, and then the one fight that he had at 175 with Kovalev, we just haven't seen that. So that's what I'm concerned about. I don't want to make the video too long, but what he can't do, what Canelo cannot do, is do that same old try to, counter pressure, walk down, not have a lot of activity, not don't throw a lot of jabs, just kind of like hope B-ball tires out, like Plant and Kovalev from running. Because B-ball is not gonna run. He's not gonna run. And he's not gonna tire himself out either. And those counters that Canelo pulls off aren't gonna be as easy to come either because B-ball pulls back. He jumps back if he misses. He's always looking to jump back. Kovalev wasn't jumping back. Plant would stand in range throwing shots that's not doing nothing, and Canelo would just counter him. Bivol's not neither one of them, and he's not going to do that. So Canelo cannot implement that same walk down style because it won't work. It will not work. There's no way. Bivol's going to be hitting you with that jab, scoring points with that jab, and then when Canelo's looking to counter and fire back, he's jumping back. And then Canelo can try to walk down as much as you want. You're just going to eat that jab all night. And even if you're slipping it, it's still I'm throwing, you're not, and then if you throw and you miss, then I'm really catching you. So it's gonna be a long night. Canelo, like I said, I'm just worried, I'm concerned. You do not implement that game style. He's gotten bigger for this fight, so that doesn't help for foot speed and quickness, but we'll see. He either has to pick the Manny Pacquiao way, the Craig Richards way, or he has to really show me something I haven't seen. But y'all let me know, how is Canelo going to close that distance? That's what he has to figure out. He has to crack that Bivol distance, defense, jab, code, that puzzle. So I'm looking forward to see it. We're one day away. Uh, Give me a like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Peace.